So it has been less than a month since we gathered at the polls, and it is already time to vote again. Early voting is in full swing now for several runoffs that will further narrow the field of candidates in this year's elections. Jerry Carnes is here to explain that while everyone is invited, you might not be able to vote in the race you want.
Part of Georgia's election law is there to discourage crossover voting. That's where loyalists from one party try to influence the final selection of candidates from another party.
There's just a fundamental fairness issue that goes along with that.
Here's how it all works. It begins with the primaries, where voters choose a party, then make selections from a slate of candidates from that party. If any of the races are so close that they go to a runoff, Georgia law dictates that you stick with that party. In other words, if you vote for candidates on the Democratic ballot on primary day, you can't then vote for Republicans on runoff day. That takes us back to crossover voting. Emory political science professor Andra Gillespie says if you know going into the primaries that you'll be locked into one party through the runoffs, you're more likely to stick with the party you favor.
To prevent people from gaming and going back and forth. So if you're going to play in one party's pond for one primary election, you need to stick with it for the entire cycle.
Although it did happen during last month's primary vote, Gillespie says most voters do not cross over.
Crossover voting in open primary systems is actually a fraction of what the overall vote is.
If you didn't vote in the primaries, you can vote in the runoffs, but you're still limited to candidates from one party. Once again, you make your choice when you arrive to cast your vote.
So Georgia is just one of 10 states that actually require a runoff after a primary, and the other states, the candidates with the most votes wins, even if it's not over 50%.